Sometimes it's like full on conversation. It's so weird, like I'm so focused, so he's actually there. I just can't stop thinking about, you know, if there was something or anything I could have done to help stop it.
You might forget that night at the workout. And the power went out. Really fucking sucks, man.
You were there?
I wasn't in the dogs. It was my dad.
I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah. I feel the way my heart out on my sleeve. Yeah. That's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Come for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this the new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning team. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to picking me, now I'm the one that they picking. Checks out, they hit scene, but I can't hear when the crowd screams. Still ballin' like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues. Blood crossing where the blood and the juice stay turned like. I've been through that water like a
I will get there as soon as I can.
so I had to drink it to the dreams bigger. Only want to go, we don't need to sell. Gotta be number one. Number 2, don't count. Used to have bubble guts, competition.
Was that buddy?
Good
thing I didn't show up then, huh?
Not helpful.
Honey, I'll be there as soon as I can to make another call. Hello, Mr. Beecher. How are you?
I'll make this pretty piece short. I don't know that I'll be able to make the recommendation to the business.
Why is that?
Application fee will be complete. Provide any additional financial information will be at the Golden Ridge. Goodbye. No. And deal you always do. Take the breath. And the time to really keep you out of jail.
Hey, well, just so you know, Beecher
from Ford Field in Detroit. It's week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
What's wrong? The doctor said we should go to vet. He might not make it through. John's going to know that he was convinced me.
I knew this was going to happen.
We'll see Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of 06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
We see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
At the 25-yard line.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
39-yard line.
On first down, Stafford here. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. For Galladay, you take a look at the numbers from last week. 6 catches, 62 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
A gain of 6 there on first. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Throwing again is Stafford. That's to his running back, Iraion Johnson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So out come the Bucs now.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying if he can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yard, a long one, and he can't connect. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they can let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled. So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else. Now a first down from Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go. We'll see who's faster.
The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Matt Prater on for the field goal. A 43-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Lions 3, Buccaneers 0.
So he gets an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And how happy is he? He's able to get that second chance so quickly after the first miss. Gets his confidence back up, and who knows, they may need him for an even bigger kick later in the game.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
Recovered by the offense.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Working from the gun, it's Brady. A quick pass here to Godwin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. The ball's arriving, and there's a defender there. He just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Brady's throw there complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. It seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's Brady. This is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks and running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
At the Lions 7-yard line.
They'll try again with Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Brady now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that makes it a 7-3 lead.
The kickoff for Tampa Bay.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded in the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
25-yard line.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
5-yard line.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
Oh, he lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report. Rush coming, and he's taken down. becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Brady, and the pressure gets to him again. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
3rd and long.
The sack backs him up, 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. Shotgun now for Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this will be caught at the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
Matt Prater to kick
The
off.
Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Mike Evans in the Tampa offense about to set up shop, and he is closing it. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
There he goes, left side.
You gotta love him, baby.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones. His 19th touchdown now on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a throw to the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
10 at the 36-yard line.
To throw is Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. And they go jet sweep. Here's Sanu. Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Mohamed Sanu. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. Out of the gun, Stafford. And they're going to bury him back at the 11-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Now this throw caught left side. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 42 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown. Run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Again, it's Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't been offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Taken in the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 29, Stafford looking sideline, incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively. I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Oh, good move. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now carry there for Fournette as he's able to work his way for a gain of about 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Fournette. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Oh, that's a big one right there. You talk about breaking off a huge chunk of real estate. But if you're the defensive coordinator, you cannot dwell on the fact you just gave up an explosive run. You have to look ahead, regroup your guys, and figure out a way to slow down this attack.
Now Jones. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. On second down, here's Fournette. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And that one makes this a 19-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded in the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed,
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
He gets it left side to Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And 6 at the 29-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And this is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Here's Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette.
Bradley Pinion to kick off.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Lions offense set to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never put their starting quarterback no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
We're not under arrest because we don't have anything.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stafford toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 17.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, here's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
How's that? Boys first kid.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. 30. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Are you thinking that
Brady now on first down. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll be taken down at the 34. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Did you steal $5,000? I didn't steal it.
Stafford on first down. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Let's just go straight to it, shall we?
3rd and long against Stafford. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. With it is Brown. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
It became an informant for us. He keeps running down me, buddy. Come in, like,
That. Yeah, still hurt.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
She takes 5 grand of cartonium, stages it away.
Brady going to throw here. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 35. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they have the right...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Taken in the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one. On 1st and 10, Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining.
Okay, then.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now Brown. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel